Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off our session today with an overview of tasting, pairing, and service course structure. Today's focus is on Sommelier and Cicerone essentials. Over the next few slides, we'll explore the key skills and knowledge needed to excel in these areas. So, let's get started and dive into what makes a great wine and beer service experience. Welcome to this part of the presentation, where we'll be diving into the profession's overview and sensory tasting techniques. We'll explore the fundamentals and styles of both wine and beer, which are essential for understanding these beverages at a deeper level. We'll also look at how to pair these drinks effectively, the proper service techniques, and how menus are crafted to enhance the customer experience. Finally, we'll prepare you for the exam, making sure you're confident with all these key concepts. This overview sets the foundation for everything we'll cover, helping you connect the dots between knowledge, practical skills, and professional service. So, let's get started and build a solid understanding of these important areas. Let's take a closer look at the various professions within the wine and beer industries. These fields are incredibly diverse and offer a wide range of career opportunities. For example, you have winemakers and brewers who are responsible for creating the products we enjoy. Then there are cellar masters and brewmasters who oversee the aging and fermentation processes. You also have roles like sommeliers and beer sommeliers, who specialize in tasting, pairing, and recommending wines and beers to customers. Additionally, there are positions in quality control, marketing, sales, and distribution, all crucial to bringing these beverages from the production stage to consumers. Recognizing the different professions helps us understand the complexity and craftsmanship involved in producing quality wine and beer, which ties into our overall theme of appreciating the artistry and skill behind these beverages. Let's take a closer look at why certification really matters in the hospitality industry. Industry reports show that when experts are certified, it leads to stronger guest satisfaction and can even boost sales by around 20 to 30%. That's a significant impact. Certification helps ensure that the quality of the beer is maintained at a high standard. It also teaches staff and customers about different styles, proper storage, and serving techniques. These are crucial details that can elevate the guest experience and build trust. When we talk about beer certifications, the Cicerone program is a key example. It's designed to manage beer quality and educate staff on various styles. On the other hand, for wine, the sommelier plays a similar role, managing wine service, guiding pairings, and educating guests, especially in fine dining settings. Now, it's interesting to compare the two, sommeliers versus cicerones. Both are experts, but they specialize in different areas. Understanding these distinctions helps us appreciate how certification adds value across different beverage categories and enhances overall service quality. Let's take a closer look at the growth opportunities within this industry. Specialized roles are increasing steadily, growing about 6 to 8% each year. What's really interesting is that earning certifications in these areas not only helps you advance more quickly, but also tends to lead to roughly 25% higher pay. Now, these roles have a broad impact. For example, in beverage education, you might teach classes, lead tastings, or create educational content aimed at both consumers and professionals. It's a great way to share your knowledge and build your reputation. In retail settings, guiding customers, managing inventory, and leading tastings in wine and beer shops are key responsibilities. These roles require a strong understanding of products and customer engagement. For those interested in strategy and management, consultancy offers opportunities to advise on business strategies, staff training, and menu development for bars, restaurants, and retail outlets. As a beverage director, you oversee the guest experience, elevate the overall quality, and work to increase beverage sales across a range of venues, from fine dining to casual spots. Finally, in restaurant service, there are clear career pathways where you can grow into leadership roles by mastering service and guest relations. Overall, these pathways show how diverse and rewarding a career in beverage and hospitality can be. There's room to grow, specialize, and really make an impact. Now, let's take a closer look at the comparative benefits and reach of these professional certifications. All of them are tiered, meaning they offer multiple levels of expertise and are recognized globally. WSET, or the Wine and Spirit Education Trust, stands out as the most international, with a broad reach that makes it accessible to learners around the world. CMS, the Court of Master Sommeliers, is best known for its rigorous focus on wine expertise, emphasizing tasting and service excellence, and it enjoys strong recognition across the industry. Cicerone Certification Program, on the other hand, specializes in beer knowledge and service, offering multi-level credentials that reinforce high industry standards specific to craft beer. Each of these programs plays a crucial role in elevating professionalism within their respective fields, and collectively, they help set the global benchmarks for quality and expertise in the beverage industry. Now, let's explore Slide 7, which focuses on sensory evaluation and tasting techniques. First, we'll talk about perception. This is all about how our senses, taste, smell, sight, touch, and even hearing, work together to shape our experience of food and beverages. Understanding perception helps us recognize how different factors influence our overall impression. Next, we have structured tasting. This involves applying a systematic approach to tasting, so we can accurately identify and evaluate specific qualities like aroma, flavor, texture, and appearance. Structured tasting ensures consistency and objectivity, which is essential in quality control and product development. Finally, palate training is a key concept. It's about consciously developing and refining our sensory skills through practice. By training our palate, we become more adept at discerning subtle differences and nuances in flavors, which enhances our overall tasting ability. Connecting all these ideas to the broader theme, effective sensory evaluation relies on understanding perception, employing structured techniques, and continuously training our palate. Together, these elements enable us to make more informed, precise judgments about food and beverage quality. Let's take a closer look at the sensory systems behind beverage evaluation. Sensory evaluation is a comprehensive process that combines olfactory, gustatory, visual, and tactile perceptions to assess beverage quality with a high degree of consistency. Each of these senses plays a crucial role in forming a complete picture of the product's profile. Focusing on aroma science, it's fascinating to realize that identifying aromas can involve up to 400 different olfactory receptors. This vast array allows us to detect and discriminate even the most subtle nuances in flavor, which is essential for accurate flavor profiling. When it comes to training, precision is key. Trained tasters can detect concentration differences at parts per billion levels, which highlights just how sensitive our sensory systems are. This incredible sensitivity underscores the importance of structured calibration and standardized methods in sensory evaluation to ensure reliable and repeatable results. Overall, understanding these sensory systems is fundamental to appreciating how we evaluate and improve beverages, tying directly into the science of perception that underpins our entire approach. Let's take a closer look at the structured tasting method and why it's so valuable. Consistency and accuracy are key, and trained tasters can achieve about 90% consistency when evaluating wines. This high level of reproducibility really underscores the importance of following a structured approach. Starting with appearance, we assess the color, clarity, and intensity to form our initial impressions. Next, we evaluate the aroma, focusing on primary, secondary, and tertiary notes to understand the wine's complexity. Then, on the palate, we analyze taste components like sweetness, acidity, tannins, alcohol, and overall flavor intensity. After that, we judge the mouthfeel, considering the texture, body, and balance to get a sense of the wine's overall sensation. Finally, we determine the finish, or the length and quality of the aftertaste, which often reveals the wine's lasting impression. The key takeaway here is that a systematic evaluation like this not only improves consistency, but also enhances our ability to accurately describe and appreciate wines. As you can see, trained tasters reach about 90% accuracy in blind tastings, compared to just 50–60% for novices. This demonstrates how a structured method really elevates the quality of our tasting skills and helps us communicate more effectively about wine. Continuous training can really make a difference. In fact, it can improve aroma recognition accuracy by about 40% within just 6 months. That's a significant jump, and it shows how powerful consistent practice can be. When we focus on measurable improvements like this, it keeps us motivated and helps us track progress. To achieve this, it's important to train on the common aroma families and compounds we encounter in wine and beer, things like esters, phenols, and fruity notes. By familiarizing ourselves with these key elements, we can become more confident in identifying them quickly. Practicing with aroma kits is also a crucial part of this process. Repeated exposure helps us develop mental links between aromas and clear references. Over time, this makes identifying aromas faster and more intuitive, which is exactly what we want when we're tasting or analyzing. Building sensory memory is the ultimate goal here. It's about creating a mental library of aromas that we can draw from effortlessly. This kind of palate and aroma training is essential for anyone serious about refining their sensory skills, whether in wine, beer, or other beverages. When we combine all these approaches, we set ourselves up for continuous improvement and a deeper appreciation of the complexities in what we're tasting. Let's take a moment to explore the fundamentals of wine. Understanding these key points is essential for appreciating what makes each wine unique. First, we'll look at the importance of grape varieties, which are the foundation of any wine's character. The type of grape used deeply influences the aroma, flavor, and overall style of the wine. Next, we consider the role of terroir. That's the combination of soil, climate, and vineyard practices that shapes the wine's expression. Then, we have the winemaking process itself, which includes fermentation, aging, and bottling techniques. These steps can dramatically alter the final product and are crucial to understand for anyone interested in wine craftsmanship. Finally, I want to emphasize the importance of tasting and evaluating wines, which helps us connect these fundamentals to our personal experience and preferences. Together, these elements form the core principles that underpin wine appreciation. Recognizing these fundamentals allows us to better understand, enjoy, and discuss wines across the board, tying back into our overall theme of developing a deeper wine knowledge. Let's take a closer look at some of the major grape varieties and their signature regions. First up is Sauvignon Blanc. You'll find it primarily in the Loire Valley in France and Marlborough in New Zealand. This variety is known for its vibrant acidity and aromatic profile, which are heavily influenced by the regional climate, cool and maritime conditions that give it that fresh, lively character. Next, we have Pinot Noir, a delicately nuanced red wine primarily from Burgundy in France and Oregon in the United States. What makes Pinot Noir fascinating is how small differences in the vineyard site, like soil and microclimate, can reveal themselves in the wine's complexity, making each terroir unique. Moving on to Chardonnay, a versatile white grape grown in Burgundy and Sonoma. Its style can range from crisp and mineral-driven to rich and creamy. The key driver here is terroir, climate, soil, and vineyard practices, all shaping the wine's texture and flavor profile. Finally, let's look at Cabernet Sauvignon, which thrives in Bordeaux in France and Napa Valley in the U.S. It's known for its bold structure and deep, dark fruit flavors. The climate and soil in these regions contribute significantly to the wine's depth and intensity, resulting in a wine that's both powerful and refined. These grapes truly showcase how different regions influence the characteristics of the wines, emphasizing the importance of terroir and climate. Now we come to the bottling stage. Once the wine has been filtered, it's carefully bottled, making it ready for distribution and, of course, for us to enjoy. This step is crucial because it preserves the wine's quality and prepares it for its journey to the consumer. It's the final act in the production process before the wine reaches your glass. Let's explore the different wine styles highlighted on this slide. First, we have the full-bodied and sweet category, which includes port and late-harvest Zinfandel. These wines are known for their intense fruit flavors and high residual sugar, giving them a luscious mouthfeel that feels almost velvety on the palate. They're perfect for those seeking a rich, decadent experience. Next, we have the full-bodied and dry wines, like Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnay. These tend to have richer flavors, higher alcohol content, and a more complex structure. They're often more robust and are great choices for pairing with hearty dishes or enjoying on their own for a full sensory experience. Moving on, the light-bodied and sweet wines, such as Moscato and Riesling, typically feature floral aromas and pronounced sweetness. They usually have lower alcohol levels, making them light and refreshing, ideal for those who prefer a sweeter, more delicate style. Finally, we have the light-bodied and dry wines, including Pinot Grigio and Sauvignon Blanc. These wines are characterized by crisp acidity, subtle fruit flavors, and a refreshing finish. They're perfect for hot days or when you want something light but still full of character. This matrix helps us see how wine styles vary based on body and sweetness or dryness, guiding us in selecting wines that match our palate preferences or meal pairings. All right, let's dive into the fundamentals and styles of beer. When we talk about beer, there are several key elements to consider. First, ingredients are at the heart of what makes each beer unique. The main ingredients include malted barley, hops, yeast, and water. Each of these plays a crucial role in shaping the flavor, aroma, and appearance of the beer. Next, the brewing process is an intricate dance that transforms these ingredients into the final product. It involves mashing, boiling, fermenting, conditioning, and packaging. Small variations in each step can lead to very different styles and flavors. Speaking of styles, beer comes in a vast array of types, from lagers and ales to stouts and IPAs. Each style has distinct characteristics, driven by the ingredients used and the brewing techniques applied. These styles often reflect regional traditions and brewing innovations. Finally, flavor is the ultimate expression of all these factors coming together. Whether it's the bitterness of hops, the sweetness of malt, or the complex aromas from fermentation, flavor is what connects us to the culture and history behind each beer style. Understanding these fundamentals helps us appreciate the diversity of beer and what makes each glass unique. It's a fascinating journey through ingredients, processes, and flavors that really highlights the artistry behind brewing. Let's take a closer look at the key beer ingredients. First up, malted barley. This is our primary fermentable sugar source, and it gives the beer its foundational grain character. It's what starts the whole process and influences the flavor from the very beginning. Next, we have hops. They do more than just add bitterness. They also contribute aroma and flavor. The alpha acids in hops are responsible for bitterness, and we measure that as IBU, International Bitterness Units. So, hops are crucial for balancing sweetness and adding that aromatic complexity we associate with many beers. Then there's yeast. Think of yeast as the fermentation engine. It not only converts sugars into alcohol, but also shapes the beer's profile through the production of esters, phenolics, and a clean finish. Different yeast strains can dramatically change the character of the final product. Water is often overlooked, but it's vital. The mineral content in water supports the overall flavor, enhances mouthfeel, and helps maintain consistency across batches. Across all these ingredients, the most important factor is quality. High-quality ingredients are the biggest lever we have to ensure repeatable, consistent results in brewing. When each component is top-notch, the final beer truly reflects that quality. Let's walk through the final steps of the beer brewing process. Once the beer is brewed, it moves into packaging, where we ensure quality checks are performed on bottles, cans, or kegs to maintain consistency during distribution. Next, the beer undergoes conditioning, a crucial phase where it matures to refine flavors and remove any off-notes. The length of this stage can influence how smooth and well-rounded the final product is. Before packaging, there's fermentation. This is where the yeast converts sugars into alcohol and carbon dioxide, and the specific time and temperature during fermentation shape the beer's flavor profile. Prior to fermentation, we do boiling, where we boil the wort with hops. This step gives the beer bitterness, adds aroma, and helps with sanitation. The timing of the hop addition also impacts the final taste. After boiling, the wort goes through lautering, which separates it from the spent grains. This step is important for clarity and for extracting the right flavors. Finally, we start with mashing, heating the grains with water to convert starches into sugars. Controlling the temperature here is key because it drives enzyme activity, ultimately affecting the sugars available for fermentation and consequently the beer's body and sweetness. All these steps are interconnected and essential to producing high-quality beer, emphasizing the importance of precision at each stage to achieve the desired flavor, clarity, and consistency. Let's take a closer look at current market trends. We're seeing a real rise in the demand for craft and specialty beers, which is driving brewers to experiment more with bold and distinctive flavor pairings. This trend encourages creativity and pushes the boundaries of traditional flavors. Now, when we talk about flavor profiles, they're quite dynamic. Bitterness, malt sweetness, fruit notes, and spices all evolve depending on the ingredients used, as well as fermentation and process choices. This flexibility allows brewers to craft unique taste experiences with every batch. Moving on to lager styles, such as Pilseners and Bocks. Pilseners tend to be clean, crisp, and refreshing. Think bright and lively on the palate. Bocks, on the other hand, are fuller-bodied, maltier, and richer, offering a more substantial experience. When we look at ales, like IPAs and stouts, they often feature bold hop bitterness or roasted depth. These styles can be quite complex, sometimes fruity, spicy, or heavily malty, thanks to specific yeast strains and hop selections that contribute to their distinctive character. Overall, understanding these styles and flavor profiles helps us see how diverse and innovative the craft beer scene has become, aligning perfectly with the broader trend of experimentation and bold flavor exploration. Let's talk about food and beverage pairing, which is an essential aspect of creating a memorable experience. When we think about pairing, we're really focusing on how different flavors complement or enhance each other. The goal is to find the perfect balance so that neither overwhelms the other, but instead they work harmoniously. For example, lighter dishes often go well with crisp, refreshing drinks, while richer, more intense flavors might be better paired with full-bodied wines or beverages. It's also important to consider the overall theme or mood you're aiming for, whether it's casual, elegant, or adventurous, and choose pairings that support that vibe. Remember, the key is to experiment and find combinations that delight the palate. Good pairing can elevate the dining experience, making it more enjoyable and memorable for your guests. So, keep these principles in mind as we continue to explore how to craft exceptional food and beverage experiences. Effective pairing is all about aligning intensity first. That means matching the strength of the flavors in the dish and the drink so that neither overpowers the other. Once you've got that aligned, you can then use contrast or harmony in texture to create a more interesting and balanced experience. Managing acidity, sweetness, and bitterness is also crucial. These elements can either complement each other or create a pleasing balance, enhancing the overall sensory experience. Research shows that when pairings are well balanced, they not only heighten our pleasure but can also elevate the perceived quality of both the dish and the drink. Think of classic examples like wine acidity cutting through rich, fatty foods. This refreshes the palate. Or beer bitterness meeting spicy heat, which can help steady and tame the spice rather than intensify it. Ultimately, good pairing is about creating a harmony among flavor, texture, and balance, making the entire tasting experience more enjoyable and memorable. Unconventional matches can really surprise the palate, and interestingly, they can boost high-end beverage sales by up to 15%. This shows that thinking outside the box when pairing wines and foods can have a tangible impact on sales. Modern experiments in pairing, like combining Cabernet with steak or Riesling with spicy cuisine, continue to be dependable crowd pleasers. These classic yet innovative choices keep customers excited and coming back for more. On the other hand, traditional favorites still hold their ground. Classic and creative pairings are essential. They appeal to both the comfort-seeking and adventurous guests. Overall, whether sticking with tradition or exploring new combinations, the key is to balance familiarity with innovation. This approach not only enhances the dining experience, but also aligns perfectly with our theme of elevating beverage programs through thoughtful pairings. Surveys are showing us that more and more people are interested in adventurous craft beer pairings with global cuisines. It's really exciting to see this growing appetite for exploring new flavor combinations. This new frontier is all about how carbonation and bitterness in craft beers can really cut through the richness of fried foods and stand up well against heavy, spicy dishes. It's about balancing bold flavors and creating a more dynamic tasting experience. Why does this work so well? Well, classic pairings like stout with oysters or an IPA with a juicy burger remain favorites for good reason. They highlight how certain beer styles complement specific foods, enhancing the overall enjoyment. And of course, there's also room for creative pairings, mixing traditional and innovative ideas to keep things fresh. This slide really ties into our overall theme of how craft beers can elevate food pairings, whether they're time-honored classics or exciting new combinations. Now, let's talk about beverage service and presentation skills. This is a crucial part of delivering exceptional guest experiences. First, service standards are the foundation. Consistently providing friendly, efficient, and attentive service helps build trust and satisfaction. When it comes to wine and beer presentation, it's important to serve these beverages correctly. This includes proper pouring techniques, appropriate glassware, and maintaining the right temperature to enhance the guest's enjoyment. Guest etiquette also plays a key role. Being respectful, observant, and discreet ensures guests feel comfortable and valued. Remember, every detail matters, from how you present the drinks to how you interact with guests. Connecting these points to our overall theme, it's about creating a seamless, memorable experience that reflects professionalism and genuine hospitality. So, mastering these skills not only elevates the quality of service, but also reinforces our commitment to excellence in every aspect of beverage presentation. Let's talk about pouring techniques. Using consistent pour methods is really important because it helps us reduce waste and protect the value of our beverages. Plus, it signals professionalism when we serve tableside, showing our guests that we care about the details. Next, temperature control is key. Serving drinks at the right temperature preserves their quality. For example, chilled whites should stay cold to stay crisp, while reds are often best enjoyed at room temperature to bring out their full flavor profile. And then there's proper glassware. Choosing the right glass isn't just about looks, it actually enhances the aroma and flavor of the drink. It also elevates the presentation, making the guest experience more memorable. All of these standards, pouring techniques, temperature control, and glassware, are essential parts of delivering exceptional beverage service. They tie back to our overall goal of providing a professional, enjoyable experience for every guest. Let's start with wine. When serving wine, it's important to show the bottle first, so guests can see the label and get excited about what's inside. Decanting should be done with control, gentle, steady, to avoid disturbing the sediments and to aerate the wine properly. Matching the glass to the style of wine enhances the aroma and clarity, making the tasting experience more enjoyable. Now moving on to beer. When pouring beer, tilt the glass at an angle initially, which helps reduce excessive foam and spillage. Then, straighten the glass as you pour to build a nice, stable foam head. Using the appropriate glassware for the style and carbonation level of the beer not only improves presentation, but also preserves the beer's aroma and bubbles. Why does all this matter? Well, our training feedback shows that visual demonstrations like these help you master the techniques faster. When you serve beverages with confidence and attention to detail, it significantly boosts the perceived quality and enhances the guest experience. Remember, these small touches make a big difference in how your guests perceive their overall experience. When we talk about professional interaction, It really comes down to understanding our guests' preferences, right? Reading those cues helps us recommend options that feel personalized and thoughtful. And of course, communicating with calm courtesy creates a welcoming atmosphere. Etiquette training plays a crucial role here. It not only reduces service errors, but also helps us build rapport with our guests. When guests feel understood and respected, they're more likely to return. Studies support this, showing that personalized recommendations can boost beverage sales by anywhere from 10 to 20%. That's a significant impact, isn't it? Role-playing exercises are also key. They help us strengthen our confidence, our tone, and our soft skills, especially under the pressures of real service situations. So, by practicing these interactions, we're better prepared to deliver exceptional, courteous service that keeps guests coming back. Let's take a closer look at beverage menus and recommendations. This part of the presentation emphasizes how crucial it is to offer well-curated beverage options tailored to your guests' preferences. When designing your menu, think about balancing classic favorites with innovative choices to appeal to a diverse crowd. Recommendations play a vital role here. They guide guests towards beverages that complement the meal or occasion, enhancing their overall experience. Remember, a thoughtfully crafted beverage menu not only boosts satisfaction, but also reinforces the overall theme and vibe you're aiming to create. By paying attention to these details, you're ensuring your service stands out and leaves a lasting impression. When designing your wine and beer lists, it's important to think about variety. You want to balance styles and regions, but at the same time, make sure everything stays coherent with the overall theme of your venue and appeals to your target guests. This helps create an inviting and curated experience. Next, let's talk about price tiers. Having a clear ladder, from approachable options to premium selections, makes it easier for guests to decide quickly. It also helps protect the perceived value of your offerings, ensuring everyone feels confident in their choices. Lastly, the strategy behind your list matters. Curated selections can boost conversions by around 12% because they guide guests toward popular or recommended choices. Using interactive menus is a great way to deepen engagement. Guests enjoy exploring options, and it gives you valuable data on preferences, which can inform future decisions. All these elements together help craft a compelling and thoughtful wine and beer list that enhances the guest experience and supports your overall venue concept. Now, let's look at how matching menus to guest preferences can really boost our performance. When we tailor our offerings to what guests like, we see a significant increase in the average order size. In fact, data shows a 27% rise when menus align with guest preferences. This isn't just about upselling, it's about creating a more satisfying experience for our guests. When they find options that resonate with their tastes, they tend to order more, which drives both satisfaction and loyalty. This concept ties directly into our overall goal of enhancing guest experiences and building long-term relationships. So, focusing on personalization through menu matching isn't just a nice touch, it's a strategic move to grow our business. What works when it comes to increasing beverage sales? Well, suggestive selling, pairing recommendations, and framing premium options are all proven to boost the average spend by about 15 to 25%. These techniques make it easier to guide guests toward higher value choices without feeling pushy. Now, how do we enable this effectively? It's all about training your teams to use persuasive, guest-first language. That means focusing on storytelling, highlighting the taste, origin, craftsmanship, and value of the products. When staff can share these compelling stories confidently, it feels natural and authentic to the guest. And what's the business impact? We see through case studies that when recommendations are tailored and delivered with confidence, profit margins improve without compromising the customer experience. Guests feel valued and understood, which encourages them to indulge a little more. So, in summary, strategies like upselling are powerful tools. When executed well, they elevate the guest experience and benefit the bottom line. It's all about making those recommendations feel natural, personalized, and confident. That's what truly lifts beverage spend. Let's talk about professional practice and readiness. This is a crucial part of our overall theme because it highlights how important it is to not only develop skills, but also to be prepared to apply them effectively in real-world situations. When we refer to professional practice, we're talking about consistently demonstrating ethical behavior, strong communication, and a commitment to continuous improvement. It's about embodying the standards and values of our profession in everything we do. Readiness, on the other hand, focuses on how prepared we are to step into our roles confidently and competently. It's about having the necessary knowledge, skills, and mindset to handle the responsibilities that come with our profession. Together, these concepts emphasize that being truly professional isn't just about what you know, but also about how you practice and prepare to meet the challenges ahead. This connection ties back to our overall goal of fostering lifelong learners and competent practitioners who are ready to make a positive impact in their fields. Let's take a closer look at the progression of industry skills through our training program. Starting with the pre-training phase, we see a baseline hands-on ability with a practical rating of 55%. This gives us a clear picture of where participants are initially. Moving on to the internship, there's notable improvement in service protocol and menu consultation skills, reaching about 70%. Next, during the simulation lab, participants work on tasting accuracy and developing repeatable workflows, achieving around 80%. This step helps solidify technical skills in a controlled environment. After that, the assessment phase shows a significant post-training check, with about 30% improvement, bringing the overall score to 85%. Finally, the most important aspect is continuous practice. We emphasize sustaining certification standards over time, which has proven successful, maintaining an 88% success rate. This ongoing effort is crucial for long-term excellence in industry skills. Overall, this progression highlights the importance of building skills step by step and maintaining high standards through continuous practice. Let's take a closer look at the exam preparation strategies. First, the prep strategy emphasizes the importance of iterative study, revisiting material multiple times, along with practicing in groups and running mock exams. These methods really help solidify your knowledge and build confidence. Combining structured courses with peer support can boost your success rate by around 40%, which is quite significant. Next, the practical service component focuses on demonstrating your ability to perform key tasks like decanting and guest interaction in a timed simulation. This part tests not just your technical skills, but also how well you handle real-world service scenarios under pressure. Moving on, the blind tasting section challenges you to identify wines purely based on aroma, palate, and appearance, without any prior information. It's about honing your sensory skills and trusting your palate. Finally, the written theory tests your knowledge of regions, grapes, and winemaking methods through structured questions and short responses. This section requires clear, concise answers and a strong understanding of the theory behind the practice. Overall, this slide highlights the importance of a comprehensive, multifaceted approach to exam prep, covering practical skills, sensory analysis, and theoretical knowledge, to ensure you're thoroughly prepared for every aspect of the exam. Let's talk about how new connections can really broaden your professional reach and speed up how quickly you share knowledge across different roles and industries. When you actively network and exchange ideas, you're not just expanding your contacts, you're opening doors to new opportunities and insights that can really boost your career. And speaking of career growth, professionals who commit to continuing education tend to progress about 25% faster in their careers. That's a significant advantage, and it shows how staying engaged and learning continuously can make a real difference. Now, to stay current with evolving tools and standards, participating in workshops, earning advanced certifications, and attending industry events are essential. These activities help you keep your skills fresh and relevant, ensuring you're always prepared to meet new challenges. All of this fits into the bigger picture of continuing education. It's about growth, relevance, and staying connected in a fast-changing world. So, investing in your learning and networking isn't just about today. It's about shaping your future success. As we come to the final slide, I want to highlight how all these elements come together to define our service and growth. We're now prepared to deliver polished, professional hospitality, but our journey doesn't stop here. We're committed to continuous improvement through ongoing study, practice, and mentorship, ensuring we stay at the forefront of the industry. The concept of pairing craft is central, learning to connect flavor theory with confident recommendations that truly elevate the guest experience. It's about understanding what's in the glass and how to share that knowledge seamlessly. Our sensory skills have been strengthened through structured, hands-on tasting practices, which have refined our vocabulary and evaluation habits. This allows us to assess wines and beers more accurately and confidently. We've also built a solid foundation of core knowledge in wine and beer, preparing us for real-world roles like Sommelier and Cicerone. This foundation is crucial for delivering expertise in professional service settings. Ultimately, mastering beverage expertise means we're fully prepared for excellence in professional service, ready to serve with confidence and elevate every guest interaction. This final step underscores our commitment to mastering the craft and advancing our careers in the industry.